Hello. I was just striking the pose for Facebook so they could get a halfway decent picture. We are live for today's edition of the Xander Gibb Show. So humid here tonight. And my allergies are playing me up. So I won't be crying. See, we got a good picture again. I won't be crying. If you see if you see my eyes streaming, it won't be that I'm crying. It will be that my allergies are giving me grief. That, and I get mascara eye. Because I don't look this pretty without makeup. I do. I'm absolutely beautiful. We are just getting ready to start the Xander Gibb Show. Given such a little nerdy picture today, but that's okay. Right, let's share these links. You can click that share button too. And when I share, I mean share, S-H-A-R-E, not share as in... Oh, shucks, where did that go? Not as in... If I could turn back time, if I could find the way, you know what I mean. We're just fetching the previews so we can get going on the Xander Gibb Show and talk about important subjects like what? Like, I don't know. I will tell you very soon. I click on the link and join us. Oh, yes, sirree. We got some merch coming soon with Oh, yes, siree on, so you'll be able to tap into that. We're just going to find the YouTube link. YouTube. So we can share that, because I know some of you like to see my ugly mug on the big screen. For those of you that do, just thought I'd give you a little bit of a scare. Where are you? What's this? What's going on? What's current? So are any of you out there fans of the TV show Wentworth? Because I am. And I don't know about you, but you can only watch up to season 7 in the UK, and I'm really pissed about that. So if you're one of my Australian listeners, viewers, watchers, friends, tell me, no, series 6, I want to watch season 7 onwards. So if you are in Australia and you know how I can get that, I don't know, maybe via Foxtel or something like that, and you have a login that you can give to your favorite gay conservative host of the Xander Gibb Show, that would be amazing, because I binge watched like in about a week all 6 series, and now it's like, where do I go from here? Hello, Sonia. Welcome to the live feed. Maybe you've disappeared again. I bet Phil is snoring next to you. You're just getting ready to go live for today's episode of the Xander Gibb Show. So click that share button. So please click share and show you care. We are just sharing. Making sure I don't share to any of the groups. The local swaps and sales groups, or the... Hi Ray, welcome to the live feed. Or any groups really that I'm not supposed to share to, because they get really mad. They want blood. Why did you share to my group? Your topic is nothing to do with anything to do with me. So there you go. Got to be very careful. We're just getting ready to go live for the Xander Gibb Show. Hi Dave. Goats lives matter, buddy. I did it again. We're nearly there. I'm not ignoring you. I promise I will come and say hello to everybody personally and individually. I'm just making sure I don't share in groups that I shouldn't, because I get lots of hassle. Mostly from angry women saying, "How dare you share in my feed?" But we are getting there. Hi chat, welcome to the live feed. You have to just excuse me for 1 second. I'm just making sure I'm sharing in all the groups necessary. Please click share. Share the show. Share if you care. Share if you're there. We are nearly there. See, I'm a poet and I don't know it. I haven't clicked play. The picture again. Shut up, Xander. So we are ready to go live for today's edition of the Xander Gibb Show. I can't even talk. Cue opening titles in 5, 4, 3, 2.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were the other bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find no rest. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate.
Well, hello and welcome to today's edition of the Xander Gibb Show, the talk show that really does get you talking on the Xandermonium Network, live from an undisclosed location, bringing you the best in Patriot broadcasting 5 nights a week. Yes, 5 nights a week. I'm Xander Gibb, and on tonight's edition, I get on my soapbox breaking down and analyzing the real news as I see it, and giving you a chance to get on yours too in our phone in. And in part 2, we break down today's hottest topics with Swoop from Swoop's World. You can have your say in the live feed, and as usual, I'll be sharing your comments as we go. So keep them clean-ish. That's you, Sonia. Make sure you keep those comments clean. We know what a naughty girl you are. You can follow me on social media and check me out at xandergibb.com. That's xandergibb.com. You can check me out everywhere but Twitter, because they've still not re-established my account or connection. Let's just say hello to everybody in the live feed. It's so warm here tonight. Hello to Sonia, who I saw today. Her and her fantastic husband came and put the fan up in my living room. Hello to Ray. Hello to Dave. Goats Lives Matter, Dave. Hello to chat. Hello to everybody that's in the live feed. I'm watching, but not actually participating. Come and join us. We don't bite, but you might get a nasty suck. So it's time for Xander's news of the day. So the UK government has reportedly abandoned hope of striking a Brexit trade deal, like it was ever going to happen, with the dominant controlling attitudes from the EU. It comes just days before the end of July, when Boris Johnson said he believed an outlined agreement could be passed. But now ministers are working with the assumption that Britain will begin to trade with Europe on World Trade Organization terms when the transition period ends on December 31st. Now, the UK's chief negotiator, David Frost, and Michael Barnier began the latest round of talks in London on Monday. Now, this surely highlights how a renegotiation was never possible. I have always been a little bit anti-Europe. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the live feed. Because it felt like they've had too much control. You know, the United Kingdom, just like the United States, needs sovereignty. They need their own control. But they've been able to have that for 40 years. And we didn't ask in the UK, we didn't ask to be part of the EU. It's something that we've grown kind of into, and offering subsidies so they can sell their crops and things cheaper hardly benefits our farmers or our fishing industry or anything like that. So I think that it's probably a good thing that we don't have a deal, because what that means is they will need to come to us to actually get some kind of agreement going. Opposition is growing to efforts by the political left to defund the police, with most Americans convinced that such a move will lead to more violent crime. A new Rasmussen report survey finds 64% of Americans are concerned that the growing criticism of America's police will lead to a shortage of good police officers and reduce public safety in the community where they live. I agree with that 200%, but I think the left wants that. I kind of get the impression that the police, the left want to institute some kind of private police force. Where are we? I just saw something in the live feed. It helps if I use the right mouse. Chet says, anyone can see that piece of crap from Black Lives Matter kneeling on the baby's neck. No, I didn't see that. Obviously more propaganda. Jeremy Corbyn has publicly challenged Keir Starmer, that's the leader of the Liberals in the UK, and his authority over the decision by Labour to pay substantial damages to anti-Semitism whistleblowers who appeared on a BBC documentary. In a clear challenge to his successor, former Labour leader Mr. Corbyn said the decision to settle and apologise to 7 former members of staff and the journalist John Webb was a political rather than a legal decision. He added that the decision to settle claims was disappointing and risk giving credibility to misleading and inaccurate allegations about action taken tackling anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. I didn't realize that they'd ever tried to do it. But the left are discriminators, y'all, whichever side of the pond that might be. And that is rather concerning. Who needs to put glasses on? Me? I don't need glasses. I got 20/20 vision. Hello to Swoop, who is my guest in part 2. President Donald J. Trump raised $20 million for his re-election campaign during his first virtual fundraiser yesterday, raking in 300,000 donations from across the country, holding a Zoom call with a contest winner the campaign set. The fundraiser was co-hosted by Trump Victory's Finance Committee Chair Kimberly Guilfoyle. Can she just not call herself Smith? Have an easier name to pronounce. Kimberly, let's call her Kimberly Trump from now on, came as the Republican president ramps up his fundraising for the final stretch of the campaign against presumptive Democratic nominee Sleepy Joe Biden. We don't want Sleepy Joe Biden. And finally, President Donald J. Trump has said that he wished alleged sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell well. Nothing. Right, let's go backwards because I just was like, I've got the wrong teeth in today. Noting that he had met her multiple times in the past, especially since he lived in Palm Beach. And I guess they lived in Palm Beach, but he had little to say on the case involving the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. But I wish her well, whatever it is, he said. He's being critiqued for his commentary, Cal Surprise. However, given the fact that Epstein didn't kill himself and that we are innocent until proven guilty, I concur. But once we find out that she has sex trafficked, once the evidence is on the table, it's free for all as far as I am concerned. We have time for a couple of calls. Where are we? Hello to my Gina. Welcome to the show. Yeah, we have time for a couple of calls. You can call us. If you're in the United States, you can call us on 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. And if you are in the United Kingdom, you can call us on 0208-133-5274. That's 0208-133-5274. Gina there with her goat symbol, symbolizing that goats' lives matter too. So give us a call whether you think goats' lives matter, whether you think that it was okay for the president to say what he did in the light of the fact that, Epstein was suicided, any of the topics, or you want to bring up one of your own, you can call us. If you're calling from the United States, you can call us on 845-363-4747, or if you're in the United Kingdom, you can call us on 0208 133 5274. Got some great topics for later on in the show to talk to my good buddy Swoop about. What else did I want to tell you? Who of you out there is sleep deprived? I stay up till gone 3 a.m. every morning to do this show, and some days my eyes are kind of need propping open with matchsticks. So for those of you who are expecting Sean Smith on today, we've rescheduled. That was my fault. I had a scheduling issue today, and he will be back with us. He's going to come on Friday's show. Looks like we have our first call on the Xander Gibb Show. Welcome to the Xander Gibb Show. What's your name and where are you calling from, Chet? That's what we should call this section. Where are you calling from, Chet?
Well, Chet's calling from the pool right now, Xander. Actually, I'm not. But it was brutally hot today.
You're just trying to make me jealous.
I just wanted to say, Xander, sometimes when I'm not doing politics, I like to watch baseball, right?
Right.
With football, I'm done with football. But now with baseball, I was watching the Yankees, half the team kneeled, and then
Wow.
I saw that 3 other baseball games that happened yesterday also had kneeling. So I'm not going to be watching baseball. It's horrible.
No, I think the thing that I always have this ideology, Chet, that market forces will ensue. So if you start doing shit within things that make you money, like if you start allowing people to kneel and things like this, when it is quite disrespectful, when the anthem is going on, I think it's going to affect all of these groups financially. All of these ball games, because people are not going to want to go. I mean, let's face it, after the corona pandemic, there have been no live games where people have been able to go and attend, eat your corn dog and shout at the referee and things like this.
Right.
There's been none of that going on. So are they so dim-witted that they're actually prepared to lose more business? Because let's face it, that's why they drive their fancy cars and can sit by their pools. That's not a dig at you, by the way.
Well, the thing about it is, Xander, right now with baseball, they've been having the issue of deciding how they're going to pay these players their salaries.
Right.
And right now, they're not bringing any revenue aside from the TV deals, which is actually bringing in very little on the grand scope of things when you can't bring people in. Because don't forget, the people come in, the tickets to go to a Yankee game, if you want a decent seat at Yankee Stadium to bring your kids, you're going to spend like $300,
wow.
Right? Then you're going to get there and you're going to spend $10 on the commemorative mug for the beer.
Right.
Then you're going to spend $15 on this corn dog. Then
Yeah.
you're going to spend this, that on parking, all this. By the time you're done with it and you bring your family, it's close to $500, $600.
But who can afford
to go to
that?
a Yankee game. And why would I want to go for people that can't even respect the anthem in this country?
Absolutely.
I don't want to go, and I'm not going to watch, and they're going to lose a lot of money and a lot of viewership with this.
But you know what, Chet? Good. Because this is where we hit people financially. And although I'm kind of anti-cancel culture, this is not really cancel culture. This is kind of like voting with your feet. And so I have every respect for that. We talked on last night's show about the fact that Facebook is losing revenue from advertising because of what they've been doing to conservatives and other groups, and their policing of, even me as a comedian, I cannot share a meme on Facebook without them fact checking it. So what the hell is the point, at the end of the day? So it's actually good to see, and I don't care if it makes me mean, getting some enjoyment out of the fact that organizations are losing money because they've brought this on themselves.
They have brought it on themselves. The sad part about it is, for folks like me, like I said, I don't watch sports really. I don't know much about it. I do know baseball because me and my father watched the Yankees when I was a kid. So
Right.
there's something to it. There's something to it when I sit down and I watch the Yankees, and they ruined it for me. They ruined it for me, and they ruined it for a lot of other people. And when I want to get away from all things politics, I'll watch a baseball game.
Right.
And now I can't do it, Xander, because now, if I decide to do that, I can't get away from the politics
Yeah.
because the players are taking a knee for the American flag, and it's
Right.
disrespectful, and I'm not supporting it.
No. I mean, in all fairness, I'm not really into sports for lots of reasons. But I actually do like to go to a ball game. I like the feeling of it. I like the
Right.
camaraderie. I like sitting and drinking beer with my friends and eating corn dogs and chili dogs and, all of that kind of thing that's part of the atmosphere. And I think people will miss that. But they've actually brought this on themselves. And I think they'll be saying, what happened? Well, what happened was you bowed to a bunch of Marxists because let's face it, we've talked about this before. The reason that Colin Kaepernick started having an issue was because he got to a certain age and his ball game was off, and so nobody wanted to hire him. And he said, well, I'm going to capitalize on this by saying that this is because people are racist. I don't know enough about ball players and their skills, but I know enough to know that they get to a certain age and they're too old to play baseball, aren't they, basically?
Oh, well, yeah, that's definitely the fact of the matter is he used that as a springboard to start off his political, I don't know if you want to call it career, but I would say his stance with the world. I mean, Colin Kaepernick right now is paid for by Nike, and Nike has like sweat factories with 8-year-old children making sneakers, homeboy. Like, don't talk about humanitarian aid when you're working for Nike. I mean, nothing I can stand more, Xander, than somebody that has such a big double standard for themselves.
Right.
For themselves, not even for other people, for themselves. They can do whatever they want, but they got to attack the police. Kaepernick had the socks as depicting a cop as a pig. And this is the issue when we get into athletes and we get into artists and we get into singers and actors. We don't want their politics.
No.
A lot of what Ricky Gervais said, shut up and act.
Exactly. But you know what they've actually done? They've polarized their audience. I've had people saying to me, oh, well, Xander, you polarize your audience. I would say 95% of my audience is conservative. So
Right.
my audience are pretty much there already. However, when you are mainstream, as in, if you're an actor or a singer or any of those things, if you have a product to sell and you start pontificating about what you believe to be right and wrong, that cancels out half of those people. You've pissed them off already. So they won't want to buy your shitty product if you're telling them how to live their lives, and quite rightly so.
And what you do, Xander, it's a political talk show, and you lean right, so of course that's what the messaging is going to be on your show, and people expect that. It was like last year, my friend went to see, and he regretted it. He went to see U2, and he likes the music. He doesn't like Bono or his political messaging, but he said the whole concert was all Trump bashing, and it was they actually had some special effect where Trump's face came out and it had horns coming out of his head. And he actually left the concert and he spent like $150 on one ticket. And it wasn't in a great seat in the house. It was over at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. And, he brought his girlfriend and they spent a lot of money and they left.
I would have wanted a refund. It
was just too much.
Even a lot of our favorite TV shows have been politicized. I mean, for the last 15, 20 years, however long it's been on, I've loved Will and Grace. And I thought, great, there's another couple of series. I started watching them. I was 2 episodes in. And it was all about hating on Trump because the actress that plays Grace, Deborah Messing, is, a big old liberal.
She's a mess.
And that's fine too, but shut the hell up and act. And when the writers are allowing themselves to become politicized, I'm a comedian. I say cheeky things about Donald Trump on this show, but I'm not out to hate on him. And when you're out to hate on people, that actually shines through in what you're doing. And the concern for me is when you do that, people see where you're coming from, because it's not about disagreeing. It's fine to disagree. I don't mind people disagreeing with Donald Trump. You can disagree all freaking day long. But when you're hating on him and you're trying to sell a product to me, you can spin, my friend,
I agree. And the other part of it is, as well as when we're talking about watching TV or we're going to the movies or you like a certain author or whatever it may be that you want to spend some time away from politics.
Right.
The worst thing somebody can do is drag politics into the conversation.
Yeah.
Because you ostracize half the people that listen to you.
Right. Exactly. I mean,
and shut them out.
Yeah, exactly. But it's kind of like I say, if your penchant is for politics, that will attract people that agree. Even liberals that listen to this show say, we've had liberal guests on in the past, and they say they don't go away feeling bad. They actually go away feeling I've given them a fair hearing. We have guests on this show that are not totally right, like on the right wing. However, I say what I think, and that's why people keep coming back to watch and listen to the show. But when you polarize your audience, you deserve everything that's coming to you. And I can't be sympathetic, because when these shows get canceled, as they do, and then they go and do things like what they did to Roseanne. We talked last night about, oh God, what's the guy's name? I can't remember. He's an actor, and he was married to or has kids to Mariah Carey. What he did was brushed over, and CBS gave him his job. However, Roseanne Barr lost the show that she made good. And, it did one more series, and then it's gone. They called it The Connors, and it was so crap without Roseanne.
I watched a few episodes. That was horrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And, the thing is, Xander, with a show like yours or a show like ours, you're right. I'm impressed a lot of the times you bring on people that necessarily wouldn't go on a conservative show.
Right.
And we've tried to do that too. We used to have a guy by the name of Daryl Finizio. He was the mayor of New London, very liberal, and he started coming on the show. And then all of a sudden I noticed that he blocked me and was no longer answering to come on. He was so upset because people gave him flack about coming on the show and discussing politics with us that he no longer wanted to be associated with me. And that's the sad part. I see a lot of conservatives like yourselves and others that are willing to open the door, but it never comes back on the other side.
Right, exactly.
Ever.
I used to do a lot of stuff for the BBC, voiceovers and things like that. And as I rose, through the ranks and my show became popular and stuff, before I had my car accident, They used to send a car for me when I lived in New York, and I'd go to the studio because one of my skills is voices. And when they realized I was a conservative commentator, they stopped using me, which to me is absolutely ridiculous, because how well I do my job has nothing to do with my politics. It doesn't change how well I do particular voices. But everything is just becoming so politicized, and the BBC is the same too, and that bothers me. It really does, because I would never employ somebody on the basis of their politics. I want to employ someone on the basis of how well they can do the freaking job.
That's how it should be. Everything is so divisive right now. You have Donald Trump, who has to send in the feds in order to get these cities straightened out. They're crying on TV, Xander. The mayors are complaining about Donald Trump sending in his federal police, but they're not acknowledging the fact that businesses are being destroyed, the police are being attacked. You have women being hit. I saw one. It was a woman that got a tire iron smashed over her head because she was in the way.
Right.
I mean, this is anarchy.
It is. Let me stop you there because that's one of the topics I prepared to discuss with Swoop,
Okay.
and it will detract
that,
from it. But I'm interested to know what you think about him saying, I wish two things actually I'd like to get from you while you're still on with us. How did you feel about when you heard him say he wished Ghislaine Maxwell well? And how do you feel about the turnaround with regards to wearing masks? Because I'm a little bit concerned about that, I have to say.
With the Maxwell statement, I thought it was bizarre. I wouldn't have gone there because we already know she was involved with, she was involved with bringing young girls
Right.
to Epstein and Epstein Island. I mean, they haven't really charged her yet, but I think sometimes President Trump says what's on his mind. And whether you agree with it or not, at least he's doing it.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
because,
sure.
like I said, we have somebody that's stuck in a basement and doesn't say anything at all. And I think sometimes President Trump, he says what's on his mind, and sometimes it could have bad repercussions. But I don't think he has any involvement with that. But I think the liberal media will take it, and
of course
they'll run with that. So that's going to happen.
It was painted here as if he was kind of, blowing kisses at her. That wasn't the case. He just said, I'll tell you what I took from that. I took from that he was saying, I hope you don't get Epstein, like Jeffrey Epstein did, because Jeffrey Epstein didn't deserve to.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve to be suicided. We should have been able to try him, but we all know that far too many people would have been implicated if the trial had taken place. And I'm telling you now, she's going to end up dead too. And that's disgusting because when people are worried about losing their livelihoods about their involvement in certain things, i.e., trips to Lolita Island, Joe Biden allegedly, then that's why people end up dead.
Xander, did you see Vegas now has the odds, the over-under for when she's going to be killed?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't get much more bizarre than that,
No.
does it? I mean, God, where are we living? Because, when this all happened, me and you were talking about when's Epstein going to die. You came on the show, you said, is it be about another week, 2 weeks? And you were right.
Yeah,
He
it's
died
scary.
next week.
It's scary.
But what?
We need to get ahead of the trend and start using it. Mind you, apparently someone got banned for 7 days from Twitter for using the hashtag Maxwell didn't kill herself. But these social media platforms have just become like Nazi death camps. You will not talk about things that we do not like. And I'm like, God, I'm a comedian. Can I not joke now?
And did you see they took down all the QAnon linked Twitter accounts?
No, I didn't. Because I've not been able to get into my account for a couple of weeks. Either they figured out who I am, or they're just being lazy assholes. Because everything's because of COVID now. Any excuse now that they need for performing badly, they're saying, oh, it's because of COVID, not just Twitter, like everybody. That's going to be my go-to excuse. Mr. Gibb, why didn't you pay your Visa bill? COVID-19, it affected me from getting on the computer and making my payment.
I'm going to use it too. Why not? What was the other question after, I'm sorry, Miss Maxwell?
It's fine.
What else you wanted me to answer?
Yeah, it was to do with the president's turnaround with regards to wearing masks. Because I was quite concerned by that. I'm not a single issue supporter before anybody writes in and says that. And I support Donald Trump 200%. But I was a little bit perturbed by the fact that he had that turnaround today.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can understand that. I work a 9 to 5 every day. And where I work, I have to wear a mask. There's really no choice for me. I know a lot of folks out there that complain about it. If you have to work and you have to pay rent and you have to pay bills, sometimes you wear the mask because that's what you have to do. I don't like wearing it, and I don't want to tell anybody else that they have to wear it.
No.
But I think, I think President Trump probably got pressured from his daughter because his daughter's been outspoken about wearing the mask, okay? We know she's a little bit liberal, And I think she said, Dad, it's a good thing if you just say you wear the mask. It's not going to hurt you. Your supporters are not going to abandon you for it, and we're not. You know, I mean, listen, I don't really. If President Trump wants to say wearing a mask is good and it's okay, it doesn't bother me.
Well, no, it doesn't bother me, but here's the thing: a turnaround like that is gonna, the left are gonna jump on that. So, he's been saying for weeks that you don't need to wear a mask because he's not allowed to change his mind. He's not allowed to do things differently based upon changes in policy or changes in advice, because that is seen as weak by the left. And that's my issue.
If he farts when he walks, they freak out. I mean, and also, I don't think President Trump ever said don't wear the mask or I don't want anybody to wear the mask.
No, he didn't.
Right. I mean, what he said is, I'm not wearing it because I'm the president and I have to communicate with people. And I agree with him there, man. He's got, like, the best doctors in the world following him around.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have to wear a mask all the time.
Yeah, of course.
Something definitely changed, and I think it probably was coming from his daughter. He does listen to her. She was the one that was really upset when all that stuff was happening in Syria. And a lot of people said she was the one in his ear that got the ball rolling with the air attacks that ended up happening. I mean, they bombed empty airports. It's not a big deal, but she does have his ear. I
don't like that those two have so much influence because I think that they are sometimes a little bit damaging to his work. To be honest, because
I don't know that it was her. I'm making an assumption here because I know he listens to her a lot. As far as her husband, I don't like him. He's always bothered me. I think she's a very nice, attractive young lady.
Yeah,
I think she carries herself well.
Hey, I'd go there if I was that
him or anything.
I'd go there if I was that way inclined.
I think
for sure.
She's pretty good.
I'd go there if I was that way inclined for sure, but her taste in men, no, he's
it's
really
like that
not.
Meme where it says, I voted for President Trump. You're welcome, and it's a picture of Chelsea and Hillary.
Yeah. Oh God.
You dodged a huge bullet.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, we did, and thank God she's not on the ticket yet. I say yet because it would not surprise me if she pays her way into being VP. Because you see, if she pays her way into being VP, that means in 4 years she'll have the opportunity to maybe run for president. Because you know why Joe Biden didn't run for VP because there was so much bad publicity around with regards to his son, sleeping with hookers and taking cocaine, and it wasn't the right time. But I think she wants to, before she dies, she wants to be the prime minister. I mean, if she doesn't die from adrenochrome withdrawal, she could be with us another 20 years, unfortunately.
Wait, if Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden were ever on ticket with each other, you'd have no contact, no interviews. One of them would be coughing constantly. It's like the sickest ticket you could ever imagine in your life, right?
Yeah, scary. I nearly swore then. Scary as hell. Can you imagine? It would be like creepy and adrenochrome. Vote for creepy and adrenochrome. I don't know.
But this is where we live, right? This is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
With the Democrat Party. It doesn't get any weirder, does it?
No, it definitely doesn't. But I think the biggest concern is this the best that they have? I mean, really, is this the best that the left has to offer?
No, I don't think it's the best that they have. But I think probably it's better than the insane of the insane that they have. Because Joe Biden is a puppet. Joe Biden doesn't want to push forward with the Green New Deal. He will do it because he has to. He doesn't believe in any of that stuff. He's been in Washington for 50 years.
Yeah.
He flies around on Lear jets and drives around in limousines. Do you think he really gives a crap about the environment? He doesn't give a crap about that.
Absolutely.
But they have control of him. So he will be just as devout a socialist as Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, you see, but the worry is, I don't think it. I really don't think he can possibly get to the election stage. Like, I don't think that he will even get as far as the debates. I think they will have to pull him out before the debates because there is no way he's going to do it.
Do you mean physically he can't walk up to the stage, or do you mean
No.
he's not all there? Because it's hard to even imagine.
Yeah.
But it's like, we have 4.5 months. This is not last year now.
Yeah.
We're talking about 4 months to go until he has to be on stage, hopefully, with Donald J. Trump. And let's face it, Trump, I was just watching President Trump. He's speaking in front of the media. He talks every day. Every day.
Yeah. But you know the interesting thing.
Kill Joe Biden.
Oh God! I mean, I will stay up all night and watch the debate. No matter what time of the day it is. In fact, I might even cancel the show or do a live watch along that night of the debate and do a commentary because it's going to be so interesting. But what this actually dictates for me so much is how sick the Democrats are, because when you take a step backwards, regardless of our political differences, what they're doing is they're putting an old man who has dementia or something similar through such a trying situation, and it's sad to watch. It really is. From the perspective of he's struggling so much, and it makes me sad. It's my job to criticize him, and I feel a little bit mean because it's a medical thing for him. But they shouldn't have him on that level of platform if he can't cope with it.
I always have like a top head for like Hillary and because they've done so much evil. And we know a lot of the bad stuff Biden has done. I don't know if I put him on that plateau with Hillary, but I will say this. When he speaks and you kind of catch him and he starts to slow down and he mumbles, he says a few things that really don't make any sense. There is a part where I feel cringy watching him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he never said all of this about letting kids touch his legs and stuff before. I mean, I know he's done a lot of things in public, but he has declined. And the Joe Biden that was the vice president to Barack Obama was a lot more controlled. I mean, this guy, calling people lying, dog-faced, two-faced pony soldiers and things like that. I mean, I want to do that all of the time. However, I keep it under control, mostly. You lying, dog-faced pony soldier, Chet. But...
Xander, but the thing is, they've allowed it to happen, and I think eventually they got in front of it, and they said, listen, we got this virus, keep him in the basement.
Yeah.
Don't let him talk. Don't let him go in front of the camera. And that's honestly what they said. Like I said last week with you, Bill Maher said it. He was like, the best thing that happened is Joe Biden has to stay in the basement. He admitted that Joe Biden shouldn't get in front of the camera.
Right. Oh, for sure. Hello to CV, who says he's sorry for being late. You should be sorry, you lying dog-faced pony soldier. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
There we go.
Comment. But I don't know. I think the thing is, it's just so disingenuous to actually keep pushing him out there. Even in the interview that he did with his wife, when he was on stage with his wife and his sister, he forgot which one was which. I don't know what that denotes.
It made me wonder if he had a special relationship with his sister. That's what I was wondering.
That's where I was going, actually. It really.
I don't know.
It really does, but nothing would surprise me.
What about the time when he sucked his wife's finger on the stage? Wasn't
that God.
Weird?
I never saw that, but that is rather concerning, to say the least. He was on with his wife a few days ago, and she was kind of prompting him and stuff. But they must be getting a lot out of this. She must want to be the first lady so bad, or as Whoopi Goldberg says, she wants to be Surgeon General, even though she's not a medical doctor.
Whoopi Goldberg's right. She has always wanted to be Surgeon General, and they call her Dr. Jill.
Yeah.
And somebody was joking the other day, it'd be like Dr. Phil and Dr. Jill. I'm like, both of them are not doctors. Stop.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil has a doctorate in botany. So why is he dealing with people? You know, I've never rated Dr. Phil, really, I'm sorry to say. You know, hello, welcome to the Dr. Xander Show. I have a doctorate in bullshit. I can spot it a mile off. So
yeah, we can all call each other Doctor.
Yeah.
Kids have a song called Dr. Love.
Yeah.
And I'll be Dr. Love.
Yeah. So one final question for you, Doctor. How much longer do you think they're going to let this pantomime play out before they pull him out? Because I can't see that they're going to let him go through to the election. Because this must be detrimental to his health as well. Because from what I know about people, with dementia and things like that, you know, by the time 6 o'clock comes, they're sundowning. You know, they're done. That's it. So if the debate's at 8 o'clock,
after Sunday sundown.
If the debate's at 8 o'clock, he's screwed because they're not going to do the debate during the day just to accommodate him, are they?
I don't know. You tell me. They're doing everything else to accommodate him. I mean, I don't know when they're going to pull out. Like I said, there's not a lot of time, so they have to figure out.
Right.
First of all, let's put up the name of the vice president pick that he's going to go for. And so far, I don't know who the hell that's going to be. Kamala Harris came out the other week. She looked like she was Asian. Somebody like had a bizarre plastic surgery job with Kamala Harris. And then this other woman with she's God bless her. She lost her legs in battle. Miss Duckworth.
Oh, Tammy Duckworth.
She kind of went on Duckworth, and she kind of went on a spiel that sounded very socialist and bad. I think they're going to try to pick somebody that's just really, really popular on the Democrat side of the aisle and see what that gets them. And then they'll say, hey, guess what? Joe's sick. You're right.
Exactly.
And it'll be weird.
We got to leave it there, unfortunately, because I have to get ready and bring on the fabulous Mr. Swoop. But tell people where they can find you, Chet, and when your show is.
Yeah, Sundays 3 to 5, all the time on Eastern Standard Time Zone. And if you want to listen to it, it is a terrestrial FM show, but the easiest thing to do is just go to freedomondeck.com. If you go to freedomondeck.com on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, CV put the little listen live button there, and if Xander's on with us or anybody else, or you just want to hear us, you just click that, sit back, and let the show roll.
Absolutely. News now and stimulating talk.
94.9 News Now and stimulating talk.
Yeah.
All right,
you got it. Thanks a lot, brother. Have a great night. Take care. Speak to you very soon.
Bye, bud. Take care.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. That was Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. Make sure you go and check them out at freedomondeck.com. Oh, yes, siree. Why is that not doing what it's supposed to do? The naughty thing. So my next guest on the show is Swoop of Pharma Swoop's World, calling us from the United States of America. He is a regular guest on the show, and we're going to have a little bit of a talk with him. Gina says, good call, Chet, but she always forgets to congratulate me. Maybe it's because I'm just such a fabulous host. If you are getting kicked out of the live feed, please keep coming back. It's the way that they deter people from coming along. So do keep coming back, and don't let them win. No, don't let them win. So I'm just waiting for my guest to call in. Let's go a little bit backwards in the feed. Here we go. This should be my guest tonight, the one, the only, the fabulous Swoop. Welcome back to the show, brother. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Xander. It's rough following Chet, but I'll do my best.
I'm sure Chet would agree with most things that you say. So I definitely wouldn't worry about that. I have to ask you about the weather. How's the weather where you are?
Hot. It's been in the 90s for the last 2 weeks. Tipped at 100 a couple of days, but today was a little cooler. Today was about a 93, I believe it was, 93, 94. So, hey, you got to take it where you can get it.
Yeah, it's been in the 60s today here, and tonight it's kind of like 61 that feels like 161, but we will get through. Now I have a fan on the ceiling in my lounge room. We will get there. So let's jump right in to our first topic of the night. After isolated audio on the White House's own transcript revealed that a White House, the teleprompter died on me, that a White House reporter may have aimed a profane slur at White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. Fox News host Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity and McEnany herself suggested that the issue was still in doubt and not totally cleared up. During Tuesday's press conference, Al Jazeera English correspondent Kimberly Halkett was caught mumbling a retort after McEnany waved her off in an attempt to ask her another question. Part of conservative Twitter immediately concluded she called the press secretary a lying bitch. Halkett said that she actually had said, okay, you don't want to engage. The official White House transcript seemed to put the matter to rest when it concluded the possible engage line or so by Halkett. Tucker suggested on Tuesday night that Halkett may have profanely insulted the press secretary in a bid to go viral and become a Twitter star. Now, a huge controversy broke out today about what she actually said. Carlson said many heard of swearing, others said no, some said she completely defensively said, we don't know. I could kind of see both sides of this, he proclaimed. The point is, a lot of people assumed she did because we're living in a moment where it's entirely conceivable that White House reporters might actually do that. Now, I'm not deaf, and I'm not an expert on lip reading. Hi to Dave and Yaz. Welcome to the live feed. But there is a difference between what she said, and how it would look with what was actually said. Do you know what I mean? You can often tell what people are saying.
You know, the thing is the White House apparently put it to rest. We can worry about the things people mutter under their breath. The bottom line is, anytime they're in that room together, Kayleigh McEnany is the smartest person in there.
Yeah.
And she can shred whoever. If she thinks it's, you know, she doesn't seem vindictive, but you know,
no,
it's no harm to her. There's no doubt in my mind that people mutter things underneath their breath in the White House press room and everywhere else. They seem to have a problem with anybody who works for this administration. So she possibly could have said it. What she says sounds kind of weird anyway, the way it's formed.
Yeah.
The sentence she formed. So I think there's probably a little truth that she said something disparaging, but I don't think it's something that really we need to waste time on. There's just too much going on in this country right now to get caught up in this. And I think that when social media seems to be directing what the news of the day is, we kind of lose track of all the horrible things that are going on, and these cities aren't doing anything about them.
Right. I think I agree with you to a point. But my concern is we had a great press secretary in. Oh God, my brain is dying tonight. What's her name? Sarah Huckabee.
Kayleigh.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders was a great press secretary. Kayleigh is wonderful. I'm totally enamored with her. But Sarah was very good. But it's a job where you get burned out very quickly, isn't it? Because of the way that you're treated.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this over the years. I've seen some really, really good press secretaries over the years, and then all of a sudden you hear they're leaving, and it's a taxing job. You get burnt out there. But I think that we've had some good ones in recent times, and I think they can handle it. They can handle it in there, and they go to battle with these with these people. I mean, you got like Jim Acosta, who just he never asks a legitimate question. He just wants to try to get his side, his point of view across, which is always going to be disparaging. So I think they handle these people really well.
Yeah.
They spend all day and all night studying up and going over the facts and ready to go do battle when they walk into that room.
Absolutely. Hey, it's funny you should mention Jim Acosta when we're talking about lying bitches. I mean, I joke about people, but in a one-on-one situation, like or in a situation in a room like that, I think you have to be as polite as possible. Because for me, the issue is more about the fact that freedom of the press only goes so far, and some people think, some members of our field think that it's okay to push it as far as you want because they have those freedoms. But there is a ceiling to the freedoms of the press. Would you not agree?
Well, I mean, the thing is the ability to be cordial. I mean, this isn't your parents' press corps anymore, man. We've seen the deterioration of the White House press corps over the years. I think it started deteriorating rapidly, during George W.'s administration. The way they talk to the president, especially the way they talk to a Republican president, is pretty atrocious in there.
Right.
You used to be able. You don't have to respect the individual that holds that office, but you have to respect that office.
Yeah, of course.
And so they would treat the person there standing up there with the respect that the office demanded, but not so much anymore. It's so polarizing, and we know that the media, especially the mainstream media, has a specific agenda that skews left consistently, and they don't even try to hide it anymore.
No, I mean, I had very, very little respect for Barack Obama, but I respected him because he was the president, and the assertion was that the reason I had less respect for him was because he was black. No, it was because he was an asshole, and that was purely and simply the reason. But we do have to respect the office that somebody stands upon.
I think as an individual person, and somebody with a Twitter account and a Facebook account, knock yourself out. But when you hold a professional position, as a reporter that has contact, has the ability to ask these questions, don't you want the questions that you ask to be answered? And if you're always antagonistic, you're never going to get an answer, or you're going to get, especially with Trump, he's going to just give it right back at you.
Yeah.
Right? So I know a lot of these people are trying to make names for themselves. Obviously, that's what Acosta has done. Now he's a household name. Nobody knew who the hell he was before that. These people are taking this opportunity really to pimp themselves out, and they're not trying to get information out to the American public.
No, absolutely, and I don't really. I don't really consider Al Jazeera that much of a legitimate kind of news publication, but that's just my opinion. Maybe when I come back to America, I'm going to have to start attending these press conferences myself and asking the media questions about their rudeness towards the president. I'm talking of rude people, which is a great segue. Chicago's excuse for Mayor Lori Lightfoot today called for witnesses regarding an overnight gunfight. No, not at the Chi-Town Corral, but at a funeral on Chicago's South Side. And attendees fired back, injuring 15 people a day after she said she would welcome help from the FBI and other federal agencies, but not a Portland-style deployment of unnamed agents to her city streets. Now, 2 of those shot are in critical condition, while the other 13 are expected to recover. The mayor, a Democrat, also detailed a separate shooting on Tuesday of a 3-year-old girl by 2 men who fired into the car she was in with her parents. The girl was shot in the head, but is in a stable condition. Police Superintendent David Brown told the same news conference. Now, the violent flare-up could give way for President Trump, who has sought to promote a law and order message ahead of the November 3rd presidential election. He's also threatened earlier this week to send the FBI and other federal agents to Chicago and several other cities to help local authorities crack down on a surge in violence in recent weeks. On Tuesday, Lightfoot said she would take Trump to court if he sent unidentified federal agents to her city. But has she lost control? Better yet, did she ever have it? Swoop.
Nobody's had control of that city. You can go back to Mayor Daley. They haven't had control of that city. It's been the wild, wild west out there for years now.
Right.
But the thing is is these people keep spouting things that are untruth, and it gets reported that way. First of all, most of the people that are there now in these cities now are federal officers guarding federal buildings and federal property.
Right.
And nobody, you know what? When you send units to different agencies, you don't send a roster with everybody's name on it
No.
to the area you go in. You know, you send a unit there, right? Now, what the president's talking about for cities that are having these other problems, not the riot things, but like Chicago, he's talking about the National Guard. And yes, those. That's why he said if you request it, we'll send it. Now he can. There's ways he can send it without the request, but he's so far left it up to the states because he believes in states' rights. States have rights, but if you're endangering your citizens consistently, in places like Chicago, he's probably going to step up, and he does not have to send a roster or a list of names of who the agents are. They're not unidentified. The agency knows who they are and who they have there, and if anything comes up and they need to reveal that to the local authorities, they're willing to do that. So they're trying to make this into something to make it look like Nazis. This is all political pandering in a way to skew the election. That's all it is. And instead of protecting the lives of your citizens, you're willing to risk the lives of your citizens consistently to try to take down somebody you don't like who's running for the presidency. And now when they says, we will send you help, you go, I'll send help, we'll accept help under these conditions. And these are conditions that nobody's going to go for because it just isn't done. And you have no authority to ask for it.
But wouldn't you think that she would take the help that was offered, given she's making a bad job of it? And I get the point that Chicago has always had problems, historically. But would you not think that more kind of control would have a better outcome? Because I do think that leadership makes a huge difference to things in areas like this.
Yeah, well, leadership does make a big difference. But when you talk about a city who's, they claim to fame as community organizers and things like this. And the thing is people are getting killed there daily.
Yeah.
Consistently and daily, and nobody's doing a darn thing about it. The leadership there doesn't do anything about it. So somebody's going to have to step up and start saving these lives. And, you want to talk about Black Lives Matter? Well, let's put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
These are the majority of people that are getting killed in Chicago are black people. So and they have a black mayor who's not doing anything to protect those people. So
I think we're going to have to start calling you.
Step up and do it.
I think we're going to have to start calling you Psychic Swoop, because that was my next question. Because that's the biggest thing that concerns me about Black Lives Matter. Because they care if it's a black person killed by a white person or a cop or even a white cop. But they don't care about black on black crime. But I'm told I'm not allowed to say black on black crime because that's racist. But I don't think it is. If a black person kills a black person, can I not classify that as black on black crime without being considered to be racist? I'm lost.
Well, most people get killed by people they know. Most people get killed by somebody of the same race. That's just that's the way it is. Bottom line is though, is they want to talk about the number of blacks that get killed by cops, and well, that number is very low. It's lower than lower than whites, and they'll say, well, the problem is it's disproportionate. You know what? That whole disproportionate bullshit is exactly that. It's just BS.
Right.
If you're going to say, okay, there's 13% of the population, but they're getting killed 27% of the time. Well, why? People get killed by police, generally speaking, when they're involved in some kind of violent situation. Okay,
right.
So you're going to look at the violent crimes, and you're going to look at the violent crimes. Then 13% of the population is committing 50% of the violent crimes. Okay, so that's why people are doing more. That's why you're having more interaction with police. Years and years and years ago, during the Rodney King era, I was listening to Howard Stern, and he made a statement. He says, how you keep the police out of your neighborhood? He goes, behave.
Right.
Friggin' behave. And if you behave, the police won't have to come into your neighborhood and try to straighten things out. And that's the truth. You know what? The police are there because people need them. People need them because somebody's done them wrong. They've either assaulted them, robbed them, killed them, raped them, broke into their house or something like that. That's why they're there. And you know what? If you're not having those kinds of problems, there's no reason for them to be stopping every 10 minutes in your neighborhood.
Right. But, I'm sure you won't mind me telling people this, Swoop. You used to be a cop. I'm sure that in your experiences as a cop, I would say most people will just do what you request of them. It's a very small percentage of people that will not comply. Am I right?
That's absolutely right. Most people, will hand you their ID, do whatever you ask them to do.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even if they think that it's wrong and they don't want to deal with it, they'll do it. And then if they think it's wrong, then they'll call the station and make a complaint, or they'll show up at the station and make a complaint.
Yeah.
So, there's steps that you can go through if you feel you've been wrong. But like you said, most people do exactly what they're asked to do.
Right.
Let me see your hands, hand me your driver's license, all these different things.
Absolutely, because it was always drummed into me. My father used to say to me, if you get pulled over by the cops, shut your fat mouth, do what you're told, and if you don't feel that they treat you properly, you sort it out afterwards. Because if you start an altercation with a police officer and then you end up getting arrested, who have you got to blame for that but yourself? And so I always remembered that. So on the odd occasion that I've been stopped by the police, well, actually, I've only been stopped once in New York. I flash my PBS card, but I flash my pearly smile and I'm polite and compliant. Then I don't get arrested. Isn't it that simple? But the people that have got something to worry about are the criminals. Let's face it. Let's be fair.
Well, it's a lot of things. I mean, like you said, if you go along, you get along. Most of the time, things just everything's handled. It's handled in 10 minutes.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
You get pulled over, it's handled in 10 minutes. You're going to argue, we're going to be there longer. You're not going to cooperate. You're going to step out of the car. You're going to be threatening. Things going to escalate.
Yeah.
People who think they can take on. First of all, it's that whole. We don't know who you are when we stop the car. We don't know you're a nice guy with a master's degree and you've never been in trouble with the law. You just broke the law. There's a reason we're pulling you over.
Yeah.
We'll have to find that out. So having an attitude right out of the gate, you're off to a bad start.
Absolutely. I'm sure you would agree with this, and this is my final point. I've spent a lot of time with off-duty cops, and the message I get from them is they really don't want the paperwork. They do not want the paperwork. So it's easy for you to comply, do what you need to do, and then you get on your way. So there's not the need for that kind of aggression or problem or hassle.
Well, yeah. I mean, nobody goes to work to get hurt. Nobody goes to work to get in a fight. And nobody goes to work to rip a uniform that costs you a fortune to replace. You go to work to kind of keep the neighborhood safe, keep people safe, be there when people are in need, and that's what you're there for.
Absolutely.
And if shit turns to shit, yeah, we'll step up and do what we have to do.
Absolutely.
But nobody goes there with the intent to get in a fight or hurt anybody or do anything like that.
Exactly, to serve and protect, but not to be treated like shit and messed around just because of the job they do. We have to leave it there. Swoop, thank you so much for joining us again. It really is always a pleasure to talk to you. Tell people where they can find you. Tell them where they can listen to your show, where they can listen to back episodes of the show, etc., etc.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Xander. You can go to swoopsworld.com. The archives are there, and they go back like 10 years. The new show we're still kind of working out some bugs there. Hopefully, we're going to get that on the next couple of weeks, but we'll see what happens with that. You can always find us on Swoop's World page on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today, Swoop from Swoop's World. Make sure you go check him out at swoopsworld.com, and I'm sure he will be back very soon with his own particular brand of commentary. Thank you so much, my brother. Have a great week, and give my love to your beautiful wife. I think we lost him, but thank you very much, Swoop, for calling in. I don't know what happened there. Maybe that was Skype. No? I'm not sure. Well, listen, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thanks to Chet from Freedom on Deck. Make sure you check them out, freedomondeck.com. Don't forget to check out Swoop from Swoop's World. All of his contact information is on the Xander Gibb show page for this week. Now had your fill of the Gibster. You can catch me 5 nights a week, 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 1 in the UK, and 10 a.m. the next day down there in Australia. Join us tomorrow for more scintillating chat when Dr. Gerard Lamiro and C.V. Burton will be joining us. That's C.V. Burton from Freedom on Deck. Stay safe out there. Stay cool. Be good. I have been Xander Gibb, and I really do love you all. Please remember to click share, and we will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were the other bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact, and I can find no rifts. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate.
Click the bell button and subscribe to keep up with the Xander Gibb Show. Oh, yes.